One of the most extraordinary things, one of the most wonderful things about rugby is that at whatever level you play the game, for whomever you played, against whomever you played, when it's all over, there is something that is chiselled on your rugby tombstone, something that you are remembered by your teammates and supporters for. And you can only hope that it's something good and great and glorious. Bar Jones will always be remembered for being the first one to lift the World Cup above him as a Wallaby captain. John Eales will go to his grave remembered for the kick down in Wellington to win the Bledisloe Cup. I'll always remember David Campese for a particular pass he gave to Tim Horan in a semi-final, in fact, against the All Blacks in 1991. For me, alas, I am not remembered for anything good and great and glorious. If I'm remembered for anything, it's for a particular game that the Waratahs played against Auckland in about 1989. And you'll remember the particularity of that Auckland side at that time. They were the strongest provincial rugby team in the world. Maybe they were the strongest rugby team in the world, bar none, even stronger than the All Blacks, because they played together all season. And we went over to play them on that day, that particular Saturday in May. They had not been defeated for 6 years. I'm proud to say that that day we went out to rip and tear from the opening whistle. We just tore in, out of the trenches, at them, hit, and we never stopped. Alas, with 2 minutes to go, we were losing 62 points to 0. Truth be told, we'd been damn lucky to get to 0 on the day. And I was typically desperate to make an impression upon the Wallaby selectors, who once again had been ignoring me that year. And with that in mind, I scooped the ball up from the base of the maul with full intent to take it straight into the teeth of the dastardly Auckland forwards. I was going to be a human bowling ball, just bowl them out of the way. I was going to palm off Grant Fox, elbow JK as I passed. I would deal with the fullback when I got to him. And I started off upfield. And then I saw them coming for me. AJ Wetton, Gary Wetton, Sean Fitzpatrick, Steve McDowell, and I said, I'll let you blokes live for the moment. And changed direction. So instead of going straight upfield, I went directly across field between the two sets of backs. And can I say to the forwards in the room who've never been out there, what a pleasure it was to be out among the backs with the ball in my hand, the wind in my hair, the sun on my face, feeling young again as the cameras soaked me up from every angle. And I got right out near the far touchline, about 15 yards out from the far touchline. They talk about peripheral vision in sport. I actually have it. Out of my right eye, I could see Inga The Winger Tuigamala. He's a wonderful man and I love him. But that day, Inga The Winger was like a dog let off a chain in a hurricane. He was running down that far touchline, just ready to kill. And the only hesitation in Inga The Winger's step, he was not sure if I was going to keep the ball or give it to the man I could see out of my left eye. The diminutive winger making his debut for New South Wales that day, Phil Scarr. So we're both running towards Phil Scarr. Inga's going flat out. Inga, 115 kilograms, Phil Scarr, 72 kilograms, I think nearer 70 by the time I was getting close. And we're getting close to crunch time. Inga's got to make the decision. Am I going to keep the ball or am I going to give it to Phil? And we're 5 metres off, 4 metres off, 3 metres off. I remember looking at Phil as I was getting close thinking, that's funny. Why is Phil standing there going, no, no, no? And at the very last instant, Inga makes his decision. The ball is going to go to Phil and just launches himself like an Exocet missile, just straight at Phil Scarr's chest, and God help me, it was all I could do to get the ball into Phil's hands in time. The story has a happy ending in that Phil is now back on solid foods. And you can occasionally see him limping up George Street when the weather is fine.